You ever meet somebody and think, I don't know what this guy's been through, but it must have been a ride? Well, that's Robbie Chadbourne. Robbie's got one of those smiles that tells you he's seen some things. The kind of past where the plot twists weren't exactly legal or smart. Addiction, bad choices, consequences that came with their own set of metal bars. Robbie's lived it all. But the man standing here now, well, that's a different story. Welcome to On the Couch with Robbie Chadbourne, where real men talk real life, real struggle, and real redemption. It's raw enough to matter, funny enough to keep you watching, and hopeful enough to remind you there's no such thing as too far gone. So kick back and relax. Robbie's got stories, and he's ready to share them.
So, as we ended last time, we didn't talk about where God's going with me right now, but we need to introduce Spanky. This is Spanky. This rugrat has been through the off the grid with me and been through life, and everybody loves him. He is a very calm, very natural dog, best squirrel dog you're going to see in your life. That's right. So, as I met you, Mike, I'd started, here at the church, they put me in leadership of a Tuesday night group, which I don't know nothing. I've never read the Bible all the way through, so I didn't know how that would go, but God put me there. And then Nexus started, and we started Better Man, and that's really when I got to know you. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then this Better Man part, we met out here in the lobby, and I get a chance to run around and dance with people every Sunday and try to make people's day better, because God has changed my life so much. I just want to share that. So as that happens, though, I've seen you being a great man of God, absolutely, 100%. But they need to hear your testimony just a little bit here about how you have your walk changed, where you thought you was, and then where you are today. I mean, what a great man you become and was in the first place. So
I appreciate that, Robbie. Yeah, it definitely changed. Meeting you, like I said, I'd met this guy who, from what I heard from other people, had this testimony that I wouldn't have guessed that was your life.
Right.
But through Nexus, because joining the men's group was probably the best thing I ever did.
Amen.
Because and we can talk about it all night, how, when you have a group of men that are willing to stand next to you, come beside you in your worst of worst times.
Yeah, that's right.
And so,
mean it.
Yes.
And mean it.
And where I was in my life at that time, Robbie, I had been a Christian for probably close to 30 years.
Yeah.
But I was a Christian by name only.
Right.
I thought that, sneaking into the church and not becoming known in the church and just being able to get my kids in Bible study and kind of just play the church part, say the right things, but not do anything that attaches me to the church. I thought that was being a Christian,
right.
So I was working up in Minnesota. This was, my wife and I moved up there. The company moved us up there. And then I had to retire early. I retired early, and I thought, man, Lord, I had a plan, and you took that plan and you blew it up. I was supposed to do 5. Yeah, I was supposed to go 5 more years before I retired, and you blew this plan up. But turns out he had a better plan. That was my plan. He had his plan.
Oh yeah.
And so I retired early. We moved here to Warrensburg to be close to our daughter and our grandson, and I got sick. I'd never been sick a day in my life, but I got this thing. It's called hemolytic anemia. And it just wiped me out, Robbie. Yeah. I mean, it took me to a point where I couldn't get up and walk to the bathroom without I couldn't breathe. I had no energy. There was nothing. And they told me that this was what it does. It takes, your hemoglobin. I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but it really just wipes your system out. Well, what that had done was God had put me in a place where he's like, okay, now you can read my word.
Yeah.
I had nothing else to do, Robbie.
Well, he'll knock you down.
Yeah, so I started reading his word, and the more I read it, I started to really realize that I was following somebody that I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know who Jesus was. And so what had happened was I start reading the word. My wife gets into reading the word with me in the mornings. And man, my life just changed, Robbie.
Yeah.
I mean, I started the men's group here.
I seen it when you walk in the door.
Yeah, all of a sudden I was alive. Christ was in me.
You see it.
Yeah, and I was living it. And so I thought the worst was behind me. I thought, I thought, this is awesome.
Yeah, that's right.
But I think there was still, we talk about surrender, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I hadn't surrendered everything.
Yeah.
I was still holding things I wanted to control. So, long story short, I'm doing a Bible study with my wife one morning, and I just pass out.
Yeah.
You know, and so she called 911. I wanted to go to bed, just sleep it off, but she made me go to the hospital. Well, later on that afternoon, while I was in the hospital, I simply flatlined.
Yeah,
Died
that's
for
amazing,
4 minutes.
Man. Yeah.
You know, and with it's kind of an oxymoron, but that'll wake you up.
Yeah. Now you could see her walking out of the room.
Oh.
You was flatlined.
Yeah.
And you was gone. Your heart had quit, and you could still see your wife walking out.
I saw some. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Kind of some of the things, and she told me later about a vision she had, which that's her story to tell. But man, I'm telling you. So after I'd come to, I realized what had happened. My grandkids were there, and my wife was there, and Sid showed up, which I thought was awesome.
Amen.
You know,
That's
so
right.
Sid showed up. But I knew one thing, Robbie. I knew that God had showed me that, you know, Mike, I'm not done with you yet.
Yeah, that's right.
But in order for me to continue, I need you to fully surrender. And so I had to fully surrender my life. And it meant giving up some things I didn't want to give up, Robbie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And just to be clear, this is Friday.
Yeah, it was Friday. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And then Sunday I went to church.
Yeah, Sunday you was at church. You know?
Yeah, I told
There's
my
your
wife
wife come to me, and we prayed, and she's crying, and she's telling me the story, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. He's here today?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
I knew I had to be in church.
Yeah.
But, you know, so that's kind of like where I'm from, Robbie, on that. You know,
Yeah.
yes, it was something like that happens, and it woke me up. It made me know that I had to surrender to God.
Yeah.
But since that's happened, you know, with Nexus and with the men's group, dude.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You know, I've never been involved in anything like this. You know,
I don't think anybody in this town's been involved in anything like this.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah.
I mean, when you get, I don't mean to interrupt, but when you get challenged and the devil attacks you, and you got brothers that reach out to you and they don't even know why they're reaching out to you.
Right.
Just to tell you they love you. Hey, I feel like I need to tell you I love you this morning, you know.
Yeah. There's
I
a
mean,
gentleman
my
here.
gosh, man.
There's a gentleman here we both know. I won't mention names. But I can't come to this church without the man asking me, how you doing, man?
Yeah.
But he wants to know the truth. I can't just get away with,
That's
I'm
right.
good, I'm good. You know, he wants to know how you're really doing.
Yeah.
But you know, Robbie, so that's kind of like where you've run into a great opportunity. And that's where this whole thing comes from.
Amen.
It's because you've met some men with testimonies that are just...
Oh, yeah, my gosh, man. My life was easy compared to these men.
And these are the men you're going to have on the couch.
Yeah, that's who's going to be on the couch.
And so what can we expect? We're going to see you just talk to these men, right?
Yeah.
We're just going to have conversations, but they're going to talk and share their testimony.
Yeah, they're going to share the hard parts of their life. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about hard parts where no father, no parent, lived on the streets since they was little kids. Somebody stuck a needle in their arm when they were 7, 8 years old and been doing meth ever since, you know, and never had a chance. Never showed love in their life, never be able to trust, run the streets, run in gangs. You know, this next guy that's coming on, Keith, you know, he's been shot. He grew up in New York City, had a good life to start with. We got at 12, 13 years old, would have stopped there, but started using heroin. And he'd been shot, stabbed, come to God, fell from God.
Keith's going to be your first episode.
Yeah,
right?
and he's going to be here on the next one.
Yeah, because I mean, we're boring them with our stories here.
Oh yeah,
You know,
that's
the
right.
Real show,
The real stories are getting ready to happen.
real shows are going to happen on the next
That's
episode.
right. You're going to see lives change. The people that's never had a car, never had a license, never had anything in their life, that never had anything to do with their kids, and now their kids are coming back in their life.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh,
And you know
man,
what I'm looking
great.
forward to most, Robbie, is because their testimonies are one thing, but watching what God has done in their lives,
Oh,
what the
man.
Lord has done in their life, I think is the best part of this
It's the
whole
best
show.
part.
Because we're going to get to see people that, yes, this was their life.
Yeah.
But man, it didn't stay that way.
Yeah.
God,
You know, and the best thing about it is if anybody watching this, that it can show it doesn't matter how dark a place you're in. If you're hearing this, then you can change just like any one of these people. You just have to make that commitment to change.
Yeah.
And God will do it. And without God, none of these men would have been able to do this. And that's what this is all about.
And I think sometimes it's better to try and do it before God does things like what He did to me.
Yeah.
To wake you up.
That's right.
Because
But
God
it
will do
takes
that too.
awakening.
He
it
loves
took
us.
almost killing you.
Yep.
It took burning my house down.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And these guys are the same way. They've lost everything they've ever had. And through work, and I get to see these guys really come and shine. But all of them still have that reserve, just like you, just like me. And the day they surrender, you can see it when they walk in the door. They're different, and God has filled that hole in their heart that they've had their whole life.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, Robbie. I'm looking forward to Keith.
Me too.
One of the things you said that has stuck with me, Robbie, and I think it's always going to stick with me, and I think that should be your tagline, I'll be honest with you. Faith to the end, brother.
Absolutely.
Faith to the end.
And that's what kept me out of prison. And, you know, we're all not an Abraham, but we are.
Well, Robbie, thank you so much for doing this, because I think people are going to really going to enjoy it. I think it's going to be something that's going to change some lives.
Well, let's hope so.
All right. Well, I look forward to next time. You got me. I'll be watching.
Right on. Well, Keith will be next.
All right, Robbie.
All right, brother. Have a great night.
Thank you, Robbie.
Yep. Love you.
Love you too.
Yep.